Hello to all my beautiful patrons and the people who could wait a year. It's the Steve Irwin episode today. Rest in peace, the incredible Steve Irwin. Obviously, I'm going to have to make my own character, which I haven't yet because I don't start early. This is an improv podcast. I haven't been watching episodes of Crocodile Hunter, even though they're up on Max, I think. So, yeah, I'm just kicking it, going right into this. I have not practiced my Australian accent. I have Australian friends, so I apologize in advance. I have an Australian friend and a friend with friends from Australia. So sorry if I'm offending them. But, you know, Australians, they're tough folks, stiff upper lip and all that, but prisoners, I don't know. So anywho, let's get this going. I need to think of a beginning line, and I have it. Are you ready? For episode 92 of Fix My Carcast? You better be. Crikey. Sounds weird and not an Australian accent. And this is where the theme song goes. I'm just making like a really big gap so I can figure it out. We all love a really big gap, don't we, folks? You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy, and this is episode 92. Comedian and musician Keith Hebert is working a shift at the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Award. But first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe, and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind the scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. Go death roll some merch right into your arms. No new donors this week. The total raise for paying off my car repair debt is holding at $1,541. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back and then record my podcast at the end. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? That's right, this podcast is endangered. Hey, do you like the theme song? No? Hell, if you make a donation of $50 or more, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody else changes it back. Want me to add a didgeridoo solo? I'll do it. $50. No new patrons this week. Bummer. Also, congratulations to Joel for winning the Bronze Nutmeg Award. To recap, that's Matt with the Gold Nutmeg Award, Terpsichore with the Silver Nutmeg Award, and Joel with the Bronze Nutmeg Award. Though, on a technicality, none of them have actually completed the assignment as described, so there could still be a Platinum Nutmeg Award up for grabs. What the hell am I talking about? Join the Patreon and find out! Now it's time for a topic suggestion. I'll suggest topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is my idea for a pop cultural data analysis project, which is the most boring way to describe it, but okay. It involves outer space. Want to know more? Donate today. And now, a friendly reminder that I have a spooky new album out. It's called Cult Horror Original Motion Picture Soundtrack, and it is both a love letter to horror movie scores and a concept album as a soundtrack to a film that doesn't exist. So please go check it out, leave a review, tell your friends, etc., etc. Check the links in the description and enjoy the album that one friend said, I think at one point you accidentally did the Star Trek theme. Go check it out. Did I? Don't check it out if you're a Paramount lawyer. Checking in on the best city in the world based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and we got us another singles night tie. Ties are broken by whichever city listened to the most episodes, and our big winner is Portland, Maine. Congratulations, Portland, Maine. Let it be known that your Glass House Country Baptist Church, Beerwah Library, and Australia Zoo are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about my gender fluidity journey while recording it at the fair. You can see video of the entire episode, including a very strange rug and which rides I went on, over on Patreon. Also, head over to Remix. Also, head over to Patreon for a bonus episode where I talk about scatterbrain soup. How fitting that that's the line I fucked up on. By the way, I need to raise $600 by October 6th. Oh, we're already past October 6th? Did I raise $600? No? Great. So I'm even further in debt and could really use some help. If you've ever thought about donating to Fix My Carcast or telling someone who has ever owned a house about the show, now is the perfect time to do it. Smile through the pain. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are: incorporate 20 Stephen King book titles. That's friend of the show, Stephen King. Do a Frankenstein voice. Say Candyman in the mirror 5 times. Or do it like a sermon. That's a returning gimmick. Let's recap. Number 1, incorporate 20 Stephen King book titles. Number 2, do a Frankenstein voice. Number 3, say Candyman in a mirror 5 times. And our returning gimmick, number 4, do it like a sermon. Remember that any gimmick that gets just a single vote is eligible for a second chance in 6 weeks. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, October 12th at noon Eastern America time. All right, time for today's gimmick, which is Do It Like a Crocodile Hunter episode. It's worth noting, this is the second time Recorded on a Boat has tied with another gimmick and lost the two-sided die roll. So I look forward to recording the boat episode sometime in January. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. Please forgive me, stamps. But now we are entering the gimmick zone. I'm Johnny G'day, and I'm the wildlife director for Australia's Koala Walla Zoo, and from this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. There's no sponsored topic for today's episode, so I'll take inspiration from a randomized Wikipedia page, which is... oh, here we go. Could be anything. All right. What do we got right here? Look at this beauty. It's a play called Dark of the Moon. I'm only a little bit pissed off because when I brought up the Wikipedia page, the very first one was actually an animal. But by tradition, I always click through 5 times to get something different. Crikey, though. Today, we're looking at Dark of the Moon. It's a dramatic stage play by Howard Richardson and William Burney. The play was produced on Broadway. Oh, we've got to go to Broadway. All right, everyone, keep your head low. Be careful. We don't want to spook Howard Richardson and William Burney. The play was produced on Broadway all the way in 1945. It was a smash hit. And it was the maiden production of the now acclaimed New York Circle in the Square Theater in 1951. Whoa, crikey. I'm learning so much. I don't know, I actually don't know if it was good, but let's get a closer look at this fella. Oh, it's a beauty. Principal characters, supporting cast. A really long poem in the middle. I could just read the whole thing in my incredibly accurate Australian accent, which is not going to change over the next 20 minutes. I definitely won't become Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger because I can't hold a voice for very long. Only long enough to amuse your niece. Anyway, here we go. Ooh, danger, danger, danger. Dark of the Moon is a controversial drama, and it is not recommended for young children. That's a real shame because I love presenting things to children. Don't take that sentence out of context. I love teaching children about animals and occasionally dramatic works of art. So let's take a look at the controversy. Crikey, to all my Australian friends, tell me how you say Controversy. Is that a little bit? Woo! Sorry, I had too many tinnies before we started the show. Just kidding, but check out the episode where I have a few tinnies. Actually, it was a cocktail, but Dark of the Moon. Take a look at this script. It challenges an audience's comfort level regarding ideas of tolerance, justice, and pressures from diametrically opposed worlds. Excuse me, I'm eating my own hair. Oh my goodness. Apparently, the town of Honey Grove, Texas, thought that this play was dangerous. And they tried to halt the production at the local high school in the late 1990s. I know a thing or two about the late 1990s. Citing protection of the underage against inappropriate and lewd material. The campaign extended to the Texas UIL one-act play state meet, where there were 2 productions of Dark of the Moon, with one of the plays placing 3rd at the 1998 state meet. That's about it. That's about it for how people thought about it. The Ballad of Barbara Allen is an entire section of the Wikipedia page. I do not know what this is, and they don't. Crikey, they don't even explain it right in the bleeding Wikipedia article. Well, that gets my budgies all smuggled. I have no idea what this is. Is this a musical? Crikey, I love musicals. Have you ever heard Mrs. Sponge? Oh, it's a right good show. Check it out for sure. It was written so long ago, but the thing you don't know is plays live very long lives, like tortoises, which can be over 100 years old. Mate, I've forgotten my bleeding name. I think I'm Johnny G'day. That's right. Welcome to Johnny G'day's Theater Review. Let's learn more about Dark of the Moon, which I previously only knew as a Transformers movie. They really are robots in disguise. That's called camouflage. Okay, mate? And what they do is, sometimes in the middle of all their skirmishes on Earth, they turn into a bleeding truck. Dark of the Moon was followed by a national tour and eventually numerous college and high school productions. It was revived professionally by Pittsburgh Quantum Theatre in 2005. The original production was in London. Crikey. That's where my relatives came from before they went to prison. A thing about Australia, I guess. I don't know. I've never really looked into the history of Australia, except when I was a kid and I was really fascinated by Aboriginal customs, and I did a report on it. Also, there's some tap dancing blokes who did a thing on PBS called Tap Dogs. There's the extent of my Australian knowledge, if you don't count the incredibly historically accurate Crocodile Dundee films. Oh, crikey. What is this play? It's about a witch! Crikey! 'Tis the season, mate! Set in the Appalachian Mountains and written in an Appalachian dialect. Sorry, I had a pop-up. The play centers on the character of John. Now see here, John is a witch boy, so don't get too close. Danger, danger, danger. Don't eat any candy from the witch boy. A witch boy who seeks to become human after falling in love with a human girl, Barbara Allen, originally written by Howard Richardson in 1939 as a dramatization of the centuries-old European folk song, The Ballad of Barbara Allen. It was first performed at the University of Iowa, the most London place I could think of, in 1942, under the title Barbara Allen. Well, that's fascinating. The Schuberts, those Schuberts, you know, being a wildlife expert, I'm assuming this is the Schuberts. Lee Schubert, Sam Schubert, Jacob Schubert. Okay, full disclosure, I don't actually know who the Schuberts are. But this is okay. So it's a play about a witch boy, and it's got a ballad in it. Now, I don't know, I need to figure out. I'm going to do a quick Google here, because if the Ballad of Barbara Allen is public domain, I would love to read you it in its entirety, mate. So let's see. But this could be, I know I've overused my catchphrase, but this could put us in a lot of peril. That's Johnny G'day's catchphrase. Also, in case you're wondering, G'day is spelled like bidet. I'm originally French. Now, give me a second here. The Ballad of Barbara Eden or whatever. Hold on. The Ballad of Buster Scruggs. All right. Public domain. Oh, crikey. What happened to me voice? Woo! One too many shrimps on the bobby. Wait, Barbara Allen is a public domain superhero? What? Frank Luther in 1928. All right, we got dead air, but I don't know. Okay. Traditional folk song. I've really gone down a crocodile hole here. Barbara Allen is a traditional folk song that is popular throughout the English-speaking world and beyond. It tells of how the eponymous character denies a dying man's love, then dies of grief soon after his untimely death. Oh, 17th century. That means I'm good. Let me just see if the version on the original article is the same. No. Quite different. Well, fuck it. I don't know. Read it for yourself. That would have been a great way to fill 3 minutes. Kind of like how a kangaroo fills its pouch with a little joey. Yeah. So, to all you listeners, go listen to the Ballad of Barbara Allen, and apparently there's other songs in the show. Oh, give me that old-time religion. I know that from Inherit the Wind, which is a play about evolution, which is near and dear to my heart as a conservationist who cares a lot about, where animals came from and their journeys to now and fancy stuff like that. Lonesome Valley. Oh, wait, these are just church songs. Down in the Valley, sung by Floyd Allen. Okay, well, I guess we could talk about controversial theater. I could talk about the time that I was in a play, but I'm Johnny G'day, so that's not me. That's someone else. Crikey, I'm not much of a theater critic, but I'll do me best. I don't know much about the arts. The last thing I saw was that. What was that movie? In Australia, they made a movie about the history of the barbecue. That's right, the Barbie movie. It was really good. It was a sequel to the Shrimp movie. So I don't know much about theater. That is the most New England Australian accent. Massive apologies to my friend who will not be named and will probably be embarrassed to call me a friend for mocking his nationality. But guess what? He's a good old USA boy now. He did the thing. He got the paperwork. So I don't know if that means I don't know how immigration works. If you move to the States and you're no longer in Australia, are you still in Australia? Is it dual citizenship? I'm not sure how it works. Anyway. Again, a big old congrats to my friend who moved here from Australia and is now a bloody American. You did it, mate, though the prison system here is pretty bad, too. So, good choice of country. I guess on a weird technicality, we're slightly less homophobic than your home country, but I've never been there. I mean, I'm Johnny G'day. I live there, and I know everything about... If there was a Cheers... in Australia, that's the accent I'm doing. G'day, Norm! Pull up a seat at the bar. Or is that actually the Australian accent? I don't know. Stamps, confirm. Park your car in the Harvard Yard. Crikey, I apologize to an entire country that is also a continent. I've never understood how that works. Is New Zealand part of the continent of Australia? I don't know. Famously, I don't care about Lord of the Rings. That's also an episode of this show. I don't know what... Paul Newman. Whoa. Sorry. I was ready to move on from Dark of the Moon, but then I spotted this little fella. Paul Newman. That's right. The famous actor Paul Newman. And Richard Hart, who played the role of John, the witch boy in Dark of the Moon. Also, I don't know if I ever got a shot for the camera to prove that this is the actual article that came up. Not that I think anyone gives a bleeding wallaby. All right. I'm also noticing I got a little tickle in me throat. See, there's some very interesting creatures called bacteria that like to live in the throat sometimes. I don't know if it's about that, or maybe it's because I had a little too many puffs of the old eucalyptus, you know what I mean? Not today. That would be its own gimmick, but, fuck. I was all ready to move on, and then I saw the word lusty, and I always get lusty for the Sheilas. Apparently, Barbara Allen is a beautiful, lusty, mortal girl who falls in love with John, the witch boy. Now, witches are magical and superstitious, and I'm a man of science. That's what I am, Johnny G'day. So I don't do a lot of conjure. What the hell? All right. Every time I think I'm ready to move on from this article and do me own vamping, I see something else that makes me go, crikey. This is the supporting It gets dumber the longer I read it, folks. This is the supporting cast of Dark of the Moon. Conjure Man, Dark Witch, Fair Witch, Conjure Woman, Miss Metcalf, Uncle Smelly Q, and folks, I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it with my own eyes, but crikey, there's a character called the Smelly Beard. In Australia, you might need a smelly beard so nobody finds out who your real partner is. Again, the homophobia, which I'm only basing off of what I've heard from Hannah Gadsby, close personal friend of Johnny G'day. We go way back. All right, Floyd Allen, Marvin Hudgens, Mrs. Allen, Mr. Allen, Preacher Hagler, Mr. Summit. All right, they stopped being fun. This was a way better list when it was Conjure Man and Dark Witch. Anyway, go see this play about a dark witch. It's worth noting that it was banned, and any art that's banned is worth checking out. So I personally am going to read Dark of the Moon when this is over. I'm not going to promise that I'll talk about it on a bonus episode because I actually recorded this week's bonus episode first. So it's very strange to be in the regular episode of Fix My Car Cast, or maybe Fix My Car Keys. Is that how we pronounce it? I don't know. I don't own a cocky shirt. So that's a bit of a predicament for me, Johnny G'day. And so I figured a Hawaiian shirt would do just as well. It looks like the jungle, mate. Which is wait, no, Australia, is that a jungle? Is that oh fuck me, I'm Sahara, Safari. Crikey! What the fuck is the word? A desert? Is Australia a desert? I think plains. The plains. The steppes. I don't know. Look, real talk. Johnny G'day never got his doctorate. Johnny G'day just, jumped on a dingo's back one day and went for a ride, and they said, here, own a zoo. So I do now. You're going to want to check out whatever I said the name of the zoo was at the top of the show. That's right, listen to this one twice, because it's clearly the best episode. You could have had me on a boat. Anyway, Dark of the Moon, check it out. Don't watch Transformers 3. What a fucking turd. It's real bad. I think Andy Daly is in it, and I'll watch that man in anything, and even he can't save it. Is Malkovich in that one as well? Crikey. Oh, that's the one where they swap out Megan Fox for Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, who I believe is Australian. Yeah, brought it all around, made it work. That's the Johnny G'day way. All right. Fuck it, I'm not going to sing this whole thing, but a witch boy from the mountain came, a pining to be human, for he had seen the fairest gal, a gal named Barbara Allen. All right, 0 stars right off the bat. You rhymed human with Allen. Wait a minute. Came, gal, man, wanton, human man. Okay, they rhyme courtin' with wanton, and then they rhyme man with man. This song's a bloody piece of shit, mate. Not a fan. Crikey, leave this one in the outback. I don't give a shit. Dump a Foster's on it because that bullshit sucks. Then you'll be getting rid of 2 terrible things. Well, I guess I stand corrected. Well, this doesn't mean that the play is bad. It just means that this song could use a little work. God, it's really long, too. Oh, crikey. I just want everybody to know I've been feeling a little under the weather, and I did take a COVID test and came back negative, and I still feel well enough to speak, so that's why you're not getting sick beats this week. But you can get sick beats next week if this gets worse. It seems just kind of low-level blah, but let's hope it goes extinct, mate. So I don't know what else to say about Dark of the Moon. I could talk about crikey, my friend Bear Claw Billy, who's not here right now, or whatever you need to believe, sometimes sometimes Billy says they're going to do an accent on the show, and then they just have that person come into the studio. There's a real Dracula situation there. Now, I'm not Billy, so I'll talk about Dracula all goddamn day. What's up with that fella? Why did he leave? I've been listening to this show. I've listened to every episode, and like, when's he coming back? It's spooky season. We need us some Dracula. What's he doing? And also, I'm an expert on bats. That's right. One time I jumped on a bat, and interestingly, Billy had the exact same story. Crikey. So one time Johnny G'day, but I'm guessing Bear Claw Billy had the same experience. One time Johnny G'day, had a bat loose in me office, and I had to do something about it. And they called animal control, but I was like, this is how I got my start as Johnny G'day. This is I want to say maybe the third animal I'd ever pounced on. I already told you about the dingo ride. That was a wild day. But there was a bat in me office, right? And I had to do something about it. So, thinking quickly, Johnny G'day, quick thinker, took a bottle of Coca-Cola. I don't know if it's got a different regional name wherever I'm from, which of course is Australia. And I took a 2-liter Coke bottle and I cut the bottom off of it, yeah, mate? And then I saw where the bat was perched, and I was like, all right, I only get one shot at this. This was truly my most Johnny G'day moment. And I lunged at the bat. What do you think happened? Do you think I caught the bat? Do you think I missed the bat? Oh, it's a worse answer. It's in between both answers. I pinned the bat against the wall. So I caught the wings. Thank goodness that's where the claws are, except for the claws on the feet. So I pinned the bat to the wall with half a Coke bottle. So now it's squealing and screeching and trying to get into a bit of danger. And I've got it pinned to the wall, but it's not going to put me in peril. And so I'm freaking out because I don't want to cause any harm. I love animals. I don't want to cause any harm to this bat. I was just trying to trap it so I could take it outside. I was all ready with a piece of cardboard to slide up under the half a Coke bottle and take my bat friend outside. But instead, I pinned him to the wall with half a Coke bottle like an asshole. And guess what? The part of the bat that pees was on the outside of the bottle because the bat's reaction was to take a whiz directly into me mouth. This is a real Johnny G'day story. Don't ask Billy about it because it's a Johnny G'day story. May or may not have happened to Bear Claw Billy. That's between them and their God. Anyway, or goddess perhaps. So crikey, I got a bat pinned to the wall with its dick out. Maybe a dick. In all the commotion, I don't know if it was a dick, but that bat had some aim because it made a water fountain directly into my mouth. No, bat piss. Not a fan. So, Johnny G'day, among his many other claims to fame, Johnny G'day knows what bat piss tastes like. And I'm going to tell you an adjective you're not going to want to hear, but ready? If you've ever wondered what bat piss tastes like, it's creamy, mate. It's disgustingly creamy. It's so creamy, I'm almost worried that it wasn't piss. But I don't think any bat's idea of a good time is to be slammed up against the wall with a Coke bottle. Though if that's your thing, give Johnny G'day a call. Well, that's enough talking about theater. Actually, this incident happened in a concert hall, not a theater, but a performing arts space, so it's all connected, it's all tied together. Anyway, I'm Johnny G'day and a bat pissed in my mouth. As always, check out the Opera House. This is a wig I used for a Lady Gaga thing. It's so funny to me that I was going to be a Steve Irwin type for a burlesque show, and that's what gave me the idea to do this as a gimmick. And then all at once I remembered, I don't have the costume. Like, I had a friend making that costume for me, and then COVID happened, so the show got canceled. And it like kind of hit me all at once. Wait, I don't have the outfit because my friend stopped because the show wasn't happening anymore. She may have even made the shorts. But anyway, I did not plan to tell that bat story. Oh, that's one I keep in my back pocket. That one's good for like if you're playing like fibbage Jackbox games and you need like a weird secret about you. I know what bat piss tastes like. I have drank the bat piss. Gosh, what to call this episode? I'm worried people will be like, what? It's a theater episode? And instead if you stick with it, it's the one where you find out about me drinking bat piss. That story actually gets even more wild, because I was working in a TV studio. Whatever happens outside the body of the show isn't canon. I've talked to Johnny G'day about this though, and like the exact same thing happened to us. But for him, Paul Hogan was gonna come to the studio. But for me, Susan fucking Collins. This actually happened about 30 minutes before Susan Collins was coming to the TV station to be interviewed. So yeah, there's a little brush with history. Would I rather have Susan Collins representing the state of Maine or drink bat piss? Well, you can guess.